Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to what looks like a Sacred Union Energy update, a surprising one. I intended on doing a quick weekend update and check-in on Instagram, Facebook, and my community posts here on YouTube. But when I pulled the cards, wow, it really felt like I needed to go deeper. We have the Emperor, King of Cups, King of Pentacles, King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and the Lovers. There has been a lot happening that I've been seeing with friends, with clients. Seems to be a lot of collective movement and surprising movement as well. Even my own experiences. So I want to dive a little bit deeper. As you can see from the spread that I pulled for that check-in, we have the Emperor as well as three Kings. The Lovers, Nine of Pentacles, major energy. Feels like a major transformation and a major shift. I've been feeling this myself, so I want to find out what is going on. A lot of divine feminines have been releasing their counterparts. We've been talking about this for the past several weeks, even maybe a couple of months, about surrendering. Surrendering, releasing, letting go of the journey as a whole. And I'm going to have a channel message coming up this week about that. That's been waiting in the wings for a couple of weeks yet, but it feels like it's time. Surrendering the journey as a whole, and I've talked about this on previous readings, about how we're releasing the hold that the journey itself has had on us, and how we are releasing really the label. Now, we might have released the label as a whole, but still holding on to certain aspects of the journey, certain people within the journey. And we're releasing that. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not a part of your lives. It doesn't mean that you don't feel what you feel for them. It doesn't mean that you don't feel that love. But the focus is coming back on the self, embodying the magic, embodying the joy, embodying the love, being the love for yourself and for your life, and choosing your highest timeline for yourself without anybody else in mind. It is having dreams and having goals and not compromising on those dreams, those goals, the love that you feel within yourself. Now, compromise, flexibility, adaptability, leniency, resiliency, yes, all keywords here. But when it comes to the love that you have within yourself, there is no compromise, there is no settling. You rise, and those who are meant to be with you will rise with you. That is the law of attraction. That is the law of alignment. That is the law of the universe. This is what they're saying. It's the law of the universe. That's what alignment is all about. You rise into your highest timeline, and they will meet you there. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a Rumi quote they just brought me. Something along the lines of, love yourself and I'll meet you there. That energy. And that, I feel like, is what is happening. We're going to do a solstice reading, hopefully this weekend or next week. So stay tuned for that, because as I've been saying, there is powerful change and powerful energies coming through this summer. With a lot of these cosmic events, retrogrades, solstices, eclipses, really helping to support that. It may be rocking our world a little bit, but it's only shifting, destroying, crumbling down anything that isn't in alignment with that highest self. So that's where it is a supportive nature, even though it feels challenging, even though it doesn't feel supportive at all times. But it's releasing the ego. It's letting go of the ego. It's letting go of any patterns, habits, self-sabotaging energies. Anywhere we're not in alignment with our highest selves, it is bringing in the tower to bring that down, to bring that false ego, that false structure down, so that you align further to soul, so that you align further to the heart, so that you align further to love. And when you're aligned to those things, you're aligned to your highest potential, your highest timeline. That is what evolution is. That's what expansion is. That's what growth is. That's what I feel is what is happening now. Now, this retrograde has been very pivotal. I myself have been experiencing a lot of joy and harmony because at the beginning of retrograde, I made that conscious choice. I had a conversation with my divine counterpart that I had talked about in a previous reading, where he activated that within me. Anywhere where I was still holding on to looking at things from a skewed perspective or distorted perspective, I was now consciously choosing joy because I know that is my highest self. I know that's who I naturally am. So I was consciously choosing joy. That's not to say that things don't affect me. That's not to say that I don't have my own experiences of challenges, obstacles, pain, even fear. But being able to move through those and transmute those feelings very, very quickly, coming back to a place of calmness, serenity, and love within myself, and connecting more deeply with Source in those experiences has been instrumental in helping me to feel much more harmonious within myself. In the past, there has been some self-sabotage for myself, some numbing out, some detachment in the form of numbing, but this new energy is allowing me to fully feel everything that I'm feeling, but I'm transmuting it quickly because I am connecting more deeply to myself and to source energy. And not needing anything outside of that to sustain me, to fulfill me, and feeling that wholeness within. I am saying that because I believe that's where we're headed. I believe that's that inner union that we've really anchored into and are anchoring into. It has taken a long process to get here for me, a very long process, very difficult process, painful process, but one that has been worthwhile nonetheless. And I repeat that because it feels beautiful. And if you are struggling, keep going because you will get to this place. That's not to say that I'm still going to be moving through things. I'm still going to be understanding things on a deeper level, feeling things on a deeper level. This new energy that I'm in, but hang in there. Keep going. Keep doing the work, and not just doing like the active work, but keep being the love. That's the work that you're meant to be doing. Being the love, embodying the love, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your mindsets, being aware of the patterns, and allowing yourself to change and shift into more of an energy of love, serenity, by connecting more fully and deeply to yourself, to your knowing of who your I am presence is, and connecting more fully to source energy. You're still human embodied. You're still having a human experience. That's what we're here for. We're here to experience the 3D physical reality in a human body, but from a higher dimensional consciousness, from a higher landscape, from a higher perspective. But we're still human, so we don't deny the human aspect of ourselves. We're just learning how to, rather than in the past, when we think about the Mayans and the Aztecs and others of higher consciousness, they shifted out of their human body into higher consciousness as they shifted dimensions. We're not doing that this time. This is a different level. This is a different time. This is a different ascension. We are learning how to experience, just like the Atlanteans, just like the Lemurians, higher vibrational energy, higher consciousness within the human physical construct. This is the shift out of the false matrix and template and into the rainbow grid. This is what New Earth is. It is embodying higher consciousness within our physical form. And this is what we're learning to do, to be the love, to be that joy, to be the magic, that co-creator, to be of higher consciousness within that physical form. This is what embodiment is all about. So if you are struggling, especially with all these retrogrades, some of you, if you are feeling very calm and serene in your physical world, in your waking world, but you might be having very active dream states. I've had exes come in. I've had family members who I am, just lineage-wise estranged from, just because, our families have grown apart. I've had that come in. There's a lot of healing of ancestry. There's a lot of healing of your own trauma and wounding coming in dream state, especially with these retrogrades. So you might be seeing people come in your physical reality, come back around for healing, for conclusions, for closure, and it could even be coming back around for not just to come back in and leave again, but to come back around in a higher state of consciousness. It all depends on what's resonating for you. It all depends on where you are in your journey, or you could be experiencing that in dream state if your physical reality feels very, very calm, because there's a lot of healing on all levels, the physical level and the astral level. So take it as it resonates for you. We're going to dive deeper into that solstice energy later. I just wanted to give a quick update energetically on what you might be experiencing, what might be happening. This all feels like it's part of the transformation, and there does feel like there is massive transformation taking place. I want to talk about these cards that came out really quickly. The Emperor came out first, and then I saw the King of Cups, and I said, okay, what's this about? Then we saw the King of Pentacles, and I asked for further clarification and got King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, the Lovers. This is divine partnership. I wasn't planning on doing a divine partnership or a sacred union update, but this very much feels like divine masculine is shifting. Divine masculine, I'm also hearing, might be going through some tower moments. For the divine feminine, this is the divine masculine within you, the energy within you that still doesn't feel entirely safe, that still doesn't feel entirely grounded, that still doesn't feel entirely at home within herself. So this is the transformation that you might be experiencing. Take it as it resonates for you. The masculine embodiment, however, or the masculine energy, we'll say, but the masculine embodiment is also going to be experiencing some tower moments, might be internally or externally. The external might be affecting their internal, by which I mean there might be some experiences that are triggering them to really go deep within themselves and see where are they preventing themselves from becoming the emperor? Where are they preventing themselves from seeing themselves as king? Where are they preventing themselves from connecting fully to themselves and to their feminine energy in a place of stability, balance, groundedness, and even independence? I feel like divine masculines are really releasing any codependency on people, places, or things, mindsets, habits that they had refused to let go of. Evolution is all about expansion. It is all about change. It is all about widening your beliefs and not clinging to what you thought you knew. Not regurgitating old beliefs, not regurgitating old sayings, mindsets, habits, patterns. That's a distorted view. It's not allowing yourself to open up. It's not allowing yourself to expand. Expansion and evolution is all about that spiral, going deeper and deeper and deeper into what you thought you knew. And so you're constantly learning, you're constantly evolving, and the universe is constantly bringing you opportunities to learn and to evolve. This is by the books that you read, even the movies or the TV shows that you watch. There are certain messages that might be there, but you listen to your heart as far as what you're called to. I posted this on my personal Instagram page the other day. It was, I wanted to get back into fiction reading. And so I said, Spirit, okay, show me what books you want me to read. And there was a book about love, and it was by one of my favorite young adult authors, about the presence of love and how we are needing to experience joy and love in every given moment, because the present is really all we have. We create the future from the present moment, but we can't worry so much about the future that we ignore the joy of love and connection and partnership and relationship in every aspect. Dynamics, family dynamics, friendships, romantic relations. We can't deny that in the present moment, because then we're just denying love, and the future is yet unwritten. We write the future every moment, and the more love we have in the present moment, the more we write that for our future. So not holding ourselves back, not denying ourselves any aspect of that love. There was a book that I was called to that spoke more about multidimensionality, timeline jumping, and I realized that's exactly what we've been doing. And you have the power to choose your timeline, because we are multidimensional in nature, because we have the ability to and the potential to create and shift our future. What timeline are you choosing? Are you choosing one of negativity? Are you choosing one of despair? Are you choosing one of old habits, old mindsets, old being? Or are you choosing one that is aligned with your present self, that is aligned with who you want to be, that is aligned with who you've become and who you want to become? It is a choice. So it's a beautiful book about essentially, jumping timelines and choosing what present moment you want to experience. Again, being in the essence of love, just being, allowing yourself to be. And then the final book, interestingly enough, is what gave me the final piece of inspiration for my own book. I was very stuck in writing my own novel. It's been a tough time finishing that book because there was a missing piece. And that book that I was guided to, even though it was very, very different from my own book, it provided the inspiration to understand my characters more to finish my book. And so that's what I'm talking about. Spirit gives you opportunities to learn. Spirit gives you opportunities to become inspired. Spirit gives you opportunities to understand yourself on a deeper level, to grow, to expand. But are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you acting from the soul self versus the mind self? The mind self, the ego self, overthinks. The mind self, the ego self, analyzes. And we need that. That's why we don't kill the ego. We integrate the ego. We heal the ego so that the soul speaks more clearly, so that the soul speaks louder. But we integrate the ego because the ego is that practical set of ourselves, that practical side of ourselves. The ego does help us analyze so that we can understand ourselves deeper, but the ego often lives in fear, so that over-analytical piece prevents us from acting from the soul self. Put another way, the ego self second guesses. So if you're moved to do something, say you're moved to help somebody, then oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I should just step back and watch and observe and not help at all. That's the ego self that second guesses. The soul self moves. The soul self, you feel that intuition, you feel that nudge, you feel that instinct, and you act on it. That is what integration is. That's what embodiment of the higher self is. It's not letting yourself hold yourself back in any way. Those are just examples. And I feel like that is what's happening here. That feels like the divine masculine is not quite aware of themselves as the king yet. They still view themselves as page, but that is a mindset shift. That is a belief they're holding on to. They are moving into the role of emperor, the divine masculine. They are moving into the role of king, where they are balancing out their emotions, where they are balancing out their finances, their physical world, the balance and groundedness within themselves. This King of Pentacles is one of my favorites because it's a very compassionate energy. It's a very nurturing energy. It's a very integrated energy with feminine energy is what I'm feeling. Because of that nurturing, compassionate nature. The King of Wands is one who takes action. Now, what are we missing here? We're missing the King of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords that was at the bottom of the deck, wanting to come forward, wanting to take action, wanting to speak true, but not ready yet. Now, this doesn't necessarily feel like speak true with regards to their divine feminine and their connection, although that could be part of what is happening here. But this is really about speaking true to themselves. This is really looking at themselves honestly. This is really looking at themselves in their true, authentic self. And sometimes for this divine masculine, it feels like it's going to be a tower moment because they're going to have to really face themselves. Take some time to face themselves, all of their shadows, all of their past. Retrograde has been exceptionally hard on these divine masculines because they have been looking back. They have needed to reflect on who they were in order to recognize who they want to become. To say, I don't want to be in that energy anymore. That's part of the shift that's taking place. I'm getting called to the divine masculine consciousness shift that we did, that reading we did a couple of weeks ago. I'll put a link in the description box below. They need to communicate with themselves. They need to look at what beliefs am I still holding on to that is holding me back from connecting, from honoring myself, from really being the king that I know I am. What is holding me back? And I feel like they're feeling held back. I feel like they're feeling that trapped feeling. They're feeling that it just feels like stuck energy. And I don't feel they want freedom. They want to feel fully whole within themselves. They want to feel fully loved within themselves. That's the consciousness shift. Being aware of that, being aware of who they want to be, being aware of their higher self, and how they want to integrate that, how they want to feel that. But it's going to take some brutal honesty within themselves, some really deep self-reflection, some real looking at their shadow sides, seeing where are you holding yourselves back. It's going to take some communication with themselves in order for them to be able to communicate with the world around them. So really holding themselves back. The king, not quite here yet. The king of swords, not quite here yet. But in every other landscape, they are emotionally mature, feeling the emotions. That's the feminine energy that has risen within them. There's that expression piece of the feminine energy that is not quite there yet, but it's getting there. Feeling grounded, feeling able to provide, feeling able to take care of themselves and others, feeling able to be balanced, nurturing, compassionate for others, confident within themselves. That confidence, I feel, is growing, but they're at a level where they weren't at before. Confidence within themselves growing, seeing themselves as divine, taking action in their lives, really wanting to move forward in their lives from a place of authority, from a place of control. But this is not controlling others. This is recognizing the ability to control the self. This is the ability to create for the self. That's what control of the self really is. It's not manipulating others. It's not manipulating expectations or outcomes so that it happens a certain way. That's just negative control. That is corruptive control. That is manipulation of a negative mindset. From a positive stance, control is recognizing your ability to create, to manifest, to manipulate energy, but not from a place of interfering with other people and their journeys and what they're creating. This is co-creatorship. That's what the Emperor is all about. It's about, I'm authority for my own life. I am sovereign. I am whole. I control my own emotions. I control my own landscape. And from that place, I'm able to create with others. This is what we were talking about in the beginning, that sense of resiliency, flexibility, and adaptability. Control is something that is rigid, not able to adapt, not able to be resilient, not able to let go. But co-creatorship, that is resiliency, that is adaptability, still having your own needs met. That's why healthy boundaries are so important. That's a vital lesson to learn. When to say no, when to say yes. Trusting your intuitive self for those aspects. But being a co-creator with the universe and with others is about learning how to go with the flow. Learning how to create with others. Create in harmony with others. Okay. There's also an aspect in here that is with regards to connection. I'm going to get a little bit more on that. So, a lot coming through with just these cards here. So, tell me more. Tell me more about what's happening. There's the Queen to the King. I was exactly feeling her when I was talking about the King of Pentacles. This is the feminine energy that is within the divine masculine that is rising. And it's because the feminine is grounded, stable, nurturing herself, honoring herself, cherishing herself, upholding those healthy boundaries in a very stable, independent energy. It's because of this that the divine masculine is able to be grounded himself, because it's the feminine energy within all of us. And the divine feminine embodied, the more you are in a place of stability and groundedness, loving yourself, honoring yourself, cherishing yourself, not needing anything outside of that one pentacle which you have for yourself. This is an energy of source energy, connecting deeply with source energy. The more you have this, the more you're aligning to your proper king. Tell me more about this, please. Tell me more about the divine feminine. What's going on with the divine feminine, and how is this affecting her? this is that end of the journey. Now, when I say it's the end of the journey, I mean it's the end of that restriction, the end of that obsessiveness, the end of that focus, the end of that phase that you were in. Could have been for years. It's the end of a major, major cycle for you. Now you're moving into harmony. Now you're moving into alignment. Now you're moving into partnership that feels fluid, for lack of a better word. It's the energy of flow. And we had channeled this a long time ago. It's that give and receive, that yin and that yang, the infinity sign of love that gives and receives in equal balance. You're coming into an energy of balance because you are releasing the heaviness, the responsibility, the weight that the journey had in its essence placed on you. Okay, sorry, that was my alarm. That this journey had, in essence, placed on you. There's a new beginning here for you. I'm not going to take that. I feel like that might come out later. You're moving forward. And this energy of the Eight of Wands, it feels like just a new spark within yourself. Moving forward, you're moving towards the Ten of Pentacles. You're moving forward towards your dreams, towards your passions that I feel like you might have neglected because you were doing a lot of active healing work. You were doing a lot of self-reflection. You were even doing a lot of reflection with regards to the relationship and work for the relationship as a whole. But I feel like there's been a shift where now you're focused on yourself. What are my dreams? What are my goals? What is it that I want to create? Yes, doing that in partnership if you're in partnership with somebody, but not neglecting yourself, not neglecting your dreams, calling those dreams back to you that are so important. Now, those dreams may shift, those dreams may change because of that adaptability, because of that flexibility, but not ignoring it, not neglecting it. That's what I feel like you are creating here with this Eight of Wands. You're moving forward, thinking about the future. What is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you want for your best and highest timeline? What is it that you want for your life? This is not a flighty energy. This is a very practical energy. I'm hearing making plans, setting goals, not just having dreams and thinking someday they'll come to fruition, but taking action. This is your king within you, that masculine energy within you, divine feminine. You're making it happen. You're making it real. Interesting. The Queen of Swords and the Star. The Queen is here. She is able to express herself. She's able to stand in her power and be authentically her because of the healing work that she has done. I'm getting an interesting message. For those of you who might be feeling detached from your counterparts, that is necessary. It's almost like what I'm getting from this Star is that's a part of the healing process for you to become the Queens. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. I'm also feeling that energy with the Nine of Pentacles as the Empress, feeling that energy with I'm just feeling that energy with all these kings here. The Queen is here as well. The Queen is present as well as the equal to the King. But for some of you who are feeling detached, who are feeling disconnected, who have had maybe situations that have come in that have shaken you up, it's for you to stand in your power much stronger. See the two cups that are pouring out? That had to empty completely for you to leave the past version of who you were and who your relationship was behind, so that it could fill back up with this divine love, so that it could fill back up with who you are in your power, the new version of yourself, and even the new version of your counterpart, or who you're coming into alignment with. For some, this is going to be a different person who matches the frequency of yourself, who is fully in alignment with you. For others, this is going to be your counterpart who has gone through this transformation, or who you thought was your counterpart going through this transformation. In either respect, take it as it resonates for you. Don't let that trigger you, or do let that trigger you into anything that you need to look deeper within. But this is full alignment, because you don't want anybody less than who is in alignment with you, who is on that same frequency, who is on that same vibration. The cups are going to be filled up again. There's healing that is happening here. There is wholeness that is happening here. There is wish fulfillment that is happening here. But you had to empty out the old in order for the new to come in. I feel like that might be for a smaller segment. For those who are fully releasing. And remember, it's all in energy. It's all in energy. The twin flame label is an energy. It's not a specific person, but you know within yourself the person. You know within yourself. It's a frequency. It's a frequency. And those who are aligned to that frequency are going to be coming in. For some, it's going to be the person that you thought it was, just transforming and raising in their vibrations, raising in their consciousness, raising in their frequency to match you. For others, it's going to be somebody who is already there. But you'll know by what you've been experiencing on your journey. You'll know by your experiences. There she is, the Empress. I told you she was here. The Empress. Your job is to let go. Your job is to let down those defenses. Your job is to keep that open heart. It's very easy to be guarded, especially considering what you might have been through on your journey. But this Queen of Swords is somebody who is standing fierce. She is a warrior. Kali Ma has been coming in for me just like crazy. Kali Ma takes her sword, or whatever it is that she's holding, and just destroys anything that is not in alignment with the higher self, with higher purpose, with higher consciousness. That Kali Ma is a tower in and of herself. Divine feminine energy can be a destructive energy, but it is in a loving, unconditional, pure energy. It's not destroying for the sake of destruction. It is destroying for the sake of higher creation. And so anything not in alignment with love is coming crumbling down. Anything not in alignment with your truest, highest self is coming crumbling down. And so divine feminines, you might have needed to detach from your partner, number one, because they are going through a massive transformation and you are coming into wholeness with yourself. But that guard has to come down. The defenses have to come down for you to receive that love. Because you're aligned to it, allow yourself to receive it. The Judgment card, call to rise to a higher level. This is that second chance card. It's a call to rise to the higher level, starting of a new cycle, a new journey. Temperance, there it is. It was either Temperance or the Two of Cups that was going to come out. This, and I love that it's Temperance because it's all about balance. See the Two Cups? Anything that wasn't in alignment. Now, this doesn't have to be a person. It could be the energy, because remember, twin flame sacred partners, it's all about the energy. The energy that wasn't aligned to love. I'm going to say that again. It's not so much about a person. Release the focus on the person. Come into alignment with the energy, and only you can know what you feel in your heart, in your intuition. Don't look for validation outside of that. Don't look for confirmation outside of that. Only you, in your heart, know what is in your heart. Follow your intuition. You're releasing the energy that was not in alignment with divine, sacred love. You're releasing the energy. Again, for some, it might be a particular person. But for the majority, it's going to be the energy of what was. Where you were holding yourself back, where you were in defensive mode, where you were in lack, where you were in scarcity, where you were not being in your empowerment, your true authentic self, being that warrior, compassionate person that you are, where you were not being the full embodiment of the Empress or the divine feminine energy. That's what you're getting rid of. Your counterpart, releasing any old toxicity, patterns, mindset, habits, beliefs. You're releasing the old so that the new can come into balance. And the new can be a number of different things. You'll know, this is a collective reading. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I'm happy to look deeper into your relationships, into your connections, into your ascension journey. This is a collective reading, so a couple of different messages are coming in. When I say don't let that trigger you, I mean it's going to resonate for each of you differently. Trust what's in your heart. Trust what your intuition is telling you. Don't let it trigger you into false stories. Don't let it trigger you into false timelines. That's just your own fears that might be cropping up for you to examine and reflect on. allow yourself to receive the messages that are coming through for you. Releasing the old energy, the old cycle, the old journey, so that the new can come into balance. And look at the beautiful energy that's here. This is both healing energy. This is both wholeness energy. This is both union energy. Releasing anything that is not aligned to your inner union, yourself and your inner union, coming into balance with yourself so that you come into alignment with your sacred partner. What's the work that you're still being called to do? How deep are you being called to dive? For both of you, for both counterparts, how deep are you being called to dive? So that you can come into balance with yourself and thus come into alignment with that which is in your highest frequency, that which is aligned to your higher self. This is beautiful union energy here. Giving and receiving. The energy surrounding this is one of love. Pure love and equal reciprocity. All right. Anything else we need to know, Spirit? Anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know? Things might feel rocky and stormy right now, but you're moving into calmer waters. That is what this summer is all about. This summer, as we have said, has been about being the calm within the storm, being grounded, even though it feels like chaos around you, recognizing the light within, recognizing the love within, holding that light, holding that space for yourself, because that is union and wholeness with yourself. If things feel kind of chaotic right now, know that you have the strength to overcome, and this feels like divine masculine, divine feminine, egos tamed, egos quieted, walking side by side. You have the strength within you to be the highest version of yourself. It might take some triggers. It might take some tower moments. It might take some revelations and breakthroughs. And what happens with tower moments and triggers is you always break through to the other side. But you have that strength. You have the tools. You have the wisdom within you. You are at a level of higher consciousness where you're connecting directly to source energy, embodying that source energy and that love, embodying your higher self, or learning how to anchor that in the process of that embodiment. You have that strength. Keep going. Keep going. The journey is still unfolding. The new journey, I should say, is still unfolding. Things are still aligning. There's so much happening in the astral energetic levels. There's so much we have yet to see in the physical. Keep going. I love you all. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.